Ziggy was, for me, a very simplistic thing. What it seemed to be, an alien rock star. I wanted to define the archetype Messiah rock star.
Aliens live among us. That's a theory that's been presented time and time again, with several compelling conspiracy theories coming up almost every day.
Men in black are typically described as wearing black suits, being expressionless, cold, sinister, and in some cases inhuman.
From UFO sightings to theories that the US government is harboring dark secrets in Area 51, a significant portion of the world's population believes that there are secrets about extraterrestrials we're yet to uncover.
But you must understand there's not a whole lot of human beings like you. You know that, right?
Because I'm an alien.
That's what I've speculated.
Yes.
Could this mean we've been living among aliens this whole time, discovering alien life forms in Canadian ice caves?
All over icy regions within our entire solar system and distributed throughout the entire universe.
In April 2019, Georgios Tsoukalos, an ancient astronaut theorist, and Dr. Richard Hoover, a retired NASA theorist, strived to follow up on a theory Hoover had for a long time. The retired astrobiologist has had the long-standing belief that all of humankind emerged from alien ancestors. That is, humans are actually the aliens inhabiting the Earth. To follow up on his theory, he asked Tsoukalos to accompany him to the Whistler ice caves in the Pemberton Glacier, that's in the Canadian North. The ice in the region is some tens and thousands of years old, and according to Dr. Hoover, each icicle harbors several million microbes inside. In effect, even the smallest pieces of ice act as its own planetary system. Hoover's theory is that if life on Earth did emerge from a comet from outer space, then the ancient microbes that would have been the first form of life would still be preserved in the ice. The concept of panspermia. Panspermia is an interesting theory that's gotten little to no attention from the world's scientific community. According to this theory, all life, no matter where it lives in the vast universe, originated from space dust, asteroids, meteors, or comets. Basically, there's always been life in the universe, and whenever these channels make contact with a planet, they fester life. Panspermia goes on to suggest that the theories on the origin of life are overcomplicated, especially considering how life had always existed in the universe, and it's just a matter of when microbial debris that had been floating in zero gravity made contact with a planetary body. If panspermia is correct, then that would mean that we're the aliens living on Earth. The controversial Hoover Papers. Dr. Hoover was a member of NASA's research team from 1966 to 2012, when the space organization distanced itself from the scientist. According to NASA, Hoover's theories on panspermia were unfounded and lacked expert peer review. This meant that the controversial Hoover Papers that talked about extraterrestrial microbial life forms did not hold any merit. Besides NASA, other scientists and organizations also criticized Hoover for his life's work. The Hoover Papers were repeatedly ridiculed, even though Richard Hoover had managed to author papers on 4 undiscovered microbial life forms during his quest. The oldest of the microbes found was from the Alaskan River, predating humankind by over 32,000 years. Long ago, NASA did believe in Hoover's theories. While NASA publicly distanced itself from Dr. Hoover following the publication of the Hoover Papers, there was a time when they believed in his concepts. That was back in 1996, when they published a paper on fossil records of microbes in a potato-shaped lump of Martian rock. NASA believed that the meteorite was probably blasted off the surface of Mars and wandered in the solar system for 15 million or so years before eventually plummeting to Antarctica, where it was discovered in 1984. According to the paper, the rock contained organic molecules and specks of magnetite. experts have suggested that the particles of magnetite were not so similar to those found in bacteria after all, and that contaminants from Earth are the source of the organic molecules. Alien-like life forms found in blue holes. Hoover wasn't the first researcher to support the idea of panspermia. In 2012, Tom Iliffe, a marine biologist at Texas A&M University at Galveston, along with a team of scientists, set out to discover life forms that had been living in blue holes. The Bahamas has the world's greatest concentration of these underwater caves, named as such because of the opening. According to Iliffe, his team found several different microbes as they ventured deeper and deeper into these underwater caves. He also claimed that the deeper they dug, the more ancient the microbes became. The team collected specimens from Abaco Island and Andros Island. Each specimen was collected carefully since a thick cloud of poisonous hydrogen sulfide gas covered the blue holes. Iliffe's discoveries sparked more conversations on panspermia, specifically how microbes that had no access to sunlight were able to thrive in the underwater caves. The discoveries suggested that space debris had been scattered throughout the world, with those in underwater caves or harsh snow still being preserved in their natural, untouched state. And if you thought these discoveries were mind-blowing, wait till you hear about more evidence on alien life forms found on Earth. The Men in Black. The United States government is yet to admit that a highly organized branch of the Secret Services, the Men in Black, exists. The concept of an elite force that's tasked with protecting government secrets by any means necessary has been theorized several times over. However, some theories go as far as suggesting that the Men in Black themselves were aliens. In 2008, Shane Sovar, a hotel manager in Niagara Falls, reported a strange sighting in the night sky. He believed it was a UFO and reported his findings to investigators. Over the next couple of weeks, Shane recalled the story to whoever asked. One day, a few weeks after the alleged sighting, and while Shane was outside hotel premises, staff reported that two eerie-looking men made their way into the hotel, demanding to speak with Shane. One woman who spoke to the men claimed they had large, bulging eyes, pale skin, and she believed that they were reading her mind. Shane was informed of the men's visit, but the alleged Men in Black never returned. Luckily, there's surveillance footage capturing the whole thing. Did aliens construct Mount Rushmore? No one has ever presented a greater tribute to any US president than sculptor Gutzon Borglum, who carved 60-feet stone faces of 4 US presidents in the granite on Mount Rushmore. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt have their faces carved on the site of the glorious Mount Rushmore National Park, considered a key piece of US history. The feat is astonishing, and it reportedly took Borglum and his team over a decade, 14 years to be precise, to carve out every inch of the president's faces. But the construction hasn't been without controversy. The most popular theory that exists is that the site was created by aliens, although many have argued that aliens wouldn't bother with constructing US presidents' faces. It's the fact that right underneath Abe Lincoln's hairline, there's a secret passageway that leads many conspiracy theorists to believe that aliens might have played somewhat of a part. Officially, the hidden chamber was constructed as a hall of records, but after Borglum's death, the US government refused to finish the chamber, despite many protests. Allegedly, the site was supposed to provide humans and other life forms with details of mankind, the US government, the president, and historical details. Many believe that the government delayed completing a simple passageway out of fear. Ziggy Stardust was David Bowie's alien confession. Critically acclaimed singer and songwriter, David Bowie is remembered today as one of the greatest musicians of all time. Besides his many hits, many of which have entered the vault, he was remembered for being Ziggy Stardust. It was an androgynous alien persona he'd created for himself in the late 90s. As Ziggy, the musician sold out arenas, fans admired the persona, and they admired Bowie for being creative enough to come up with it. But was it really a work of fiction? Officially, Ziggy Stardust was inspired by rock and roll musician Vince Taylor after he had a breakdown where he believed he was a cross between a god and a messiah. Hence, Bowie portrayed Ziggy as a leper messiah who comes onto Earth after it's been drained of its natural resources in a last-ditch attempt to save it. Alter egos are commonplace in music, but there was something eerie about Ziggy that fans couldn't really put their finger on. Many claimed that his music was hypnotic, and they believed that no matter where they stood in the crowd, Ziggy's eyes would follow them. This wasn't true for regular David Bowie concerts. Of course, none of these concerns were ever taken seriously because Ziggy was meant to be an alien. It wasn't until an old interview resurfaced where Bowie admitted that his real inspiration for Ziggy came from within. Many conspiracy theorists believe that was a confession in not so many words. Close ties between aliens and Native Americans. Indigenous communities worldwide have long reported deep connections with alien life forms, with records of these encounters preserved through tradition and artwork. Petroglyphs depict experiences with mysterious aircraft and non-human beings, often referred to as sky people or star people. Many indigenous groups view these beings as relatives or ancestors. For example, the Hopi believe their first home was in the Pleiades constellation, while Cree legends describe their ancestors as spirits from the stars. The Zuni also trace their lineage to star people. In Lakota belief, each person is born with a star spirit, or Wanagi, that returns to the stars after death, traveling through the Milky Way, known as the Wanagi Takanku. The Lakota belief in Mitakuye or Yasin, meaning we are all related, extends beyond humanity, reflecting a universal sense of connectedness with all beings, including extraterrestrials. These connections are not just historical accounts. In fact, Lakota holy man Black Elk also recounted a UAP sighting during a vision quest, where he interacted with beings operating a luminous disk. These beings, like others described by indigenous groups, vary widely in appearance, language, technology, and intent. The Lost Tribe of Little People. A 2003 discovery of an archaic tribe of little people, the Homo floresiensis, has challenged our concept of evolution. In the remote Indonesian island of Flores, scientists discovered remains of small hominin species, hobbits, who stood at less than a meter tall with a skull that could accommodate a brain that would have been a third of the modern-day human size. Before this discovery, scientists had believed that Homo sapiens, or humans, evolved from earlier human-like life forms known as Homo erectus, who were spread out across Africa. The evolutionary pattern was linear, but ever since the 2003 discovery, scientists have discovered a tangent in what should have been a straightforward lineage. Those who are eager to explain the existence of the Flores, lost tribe with the common concepts of evolution, suggest that it would have been no more than a hiccup. According to them, the existence of Homo floresiensis only suggests that evolution was a branched process. Still, the small size of this hobbit tribe, combined with its primitive features, such as the shape of its wrists and feet, seemed out of place for a species living so recently. What happened? Scientists are still stumped. However, this has resulted in renewed interest in concepts of aliens walking the Earth before humans ever did. The existence of this community cannot be explained in any other way. The pyramids were built by aliens. Who really built the Great Pyramids of Giza? The Egyptian archaeological site has been a marvel for centuries, with many still unable to fully wrap their minds over how ancient Egyptians were able to construct such magnificent tributes to the pharaohs. Manpower was not an issue. The pharaohs ruled over millions of people, and concepts were also not an issue, as several Egyptian archaeological sites show advanced engineering techniques. What has been questioned, however, is how ancient civilizations were able to construct marvels that would be hard to construct even with 21st century machinery. The answer, of course, is a lending hand from aliens. Proponents argue that the pyramid's alignment with cardinal points, advanced mathematical proportions, and the enormous weight of the stones used are beyond the human capabilities of the time. They claim that extraterrestrials with advanced technology either directly assisted in building the pyramids or provided the necessary knowledge. Supporters also point to the presence of similar pyramidal structures across different ancient civilizations, such as in Mesoamerica and Asia, as evidence of a common extraterrestrial influence. Alien tribute to humans, Easter Island. Easter Island exists today as a World Heritage Site and a popular tourist destination in Chile, known specifically for the 1,000 erect statues of what appear to be human faces. Although no one is 100% sure of it, researchers believe that the Rapa Nui people of South America constructed these structures, believing it would bless them or as tributes to noblemen who'd passed away. But here's the catch. The Rapa Nui people lacked the resources and technology to carve, transport, and erect these massive stone figures. They couldn't have. In fact, proponents argue that the statue's sizes, weighing up to 100 tons, and their mysterious construction methods indicate nothing but extraterrestrial construction, or at least assistance. Some believe that the statues were either created by aliens themselves or with their guidance as part of a larger global effort to influence early human civilizations. Leaked alien autopsy footage. In 1955, a film known as Alien Autopsy: Fact of Fiction caused a stir among the global population. The name gives away most of its plot, but this documentary-style movie was based on what was described as authentic footage of alien dissection. In the film, an alien was captured from a UFO crash site during the 1947 Roswell incident. It then cuts to footage depicting a humanoid figure being dissected by men in surgical gowns, with eerie details that sparked widespread speculation about its authenticity. The film was broadcast on television and generated significant media attention. Ray Santilli, a British music producer, claimed that the footage was authentic and had been obtained from a retired military cameraman who documented the Roswell autopsy. The detailed, albeit grainy imagery of the alien figure and the professional appearance of the surgical procedures convinced many that the film could indeed be genuine. Bob Lazar releases sealed government files on aliens. Bob Lazar, a controversial figure in the UFO community, claimed in 1989 that he worked on reverse engineering alien technology at a secretive government site called S4 near Area 51 in Nevada. According to Lazar, he was tasked with studying the propulsion system of one of 9 alien spacecraft stored at the facility. He alleged that these crafts used a gravity-defying technology powered by a substance he called Element 115, which had not been synthesized at the time. Lazar leaked this information through interviews with journalist George Knapp, providing detailed accounts, drawings, and descriptions of the technology. He also claimed that the government erased his educational and employment records to discredit him. The Aetherius Society. Concepts in theology have been challenged from the earliest religions to the newest ones. However, in the case of the Aetherius Society, besides a member of the religious community, everyone is skeptical of their beliefs. Briefly, this was a religious movement started by George King in the 1950s, blending elements of theosophy and spirituality, of course, with the belief that aliens are our ultimate overlords. The society is named after Aetherius, an advanced extraterrestrial entity who King claimed to have communicated with through telepathy. Per their beliefs, the Earth is under the guidance and protection of cosmic masters and entities, including Jesus, Buddha, and Krishna. The religious movement claims that these masters have visited Earth throughout history to guide and help humans, often appearing as great spiritual leaders. Altogether, They assist humanity in unlocking their spiritual potential. The Aetherius Society has garnered a dedicated following and continues to operate in several countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand. Xenu, the Scientologist, alien overlord. The Church of Scientology has been a mainstay in the media for several decades. Besides controversial practices by followers, the Church has come under the spotlight for several of its core beliefs, including the existence of the alien overlord, Xenu. Simply, Xenu was the tyrannical leader of the Galactic Confederacy, a collection of close to 100 planets some 70 million years ago. Facing overpopulation in his galactic empire, Xenu came up with a plan to eliminate the excess population. He gathered billions of his subjects, froze them, and transported them to Earth, then known as Tigak. Upon arrival, these beings were placed near volcanoes, and Xenu detonated hydrogen bombs, killing them. A Big Bang-like event that allegedly shaped the spiritual history of humanity. The souls of these beings, referred to as Thetans, were then trapped, captured by special electronic devices, and subjected to intense brainwashing that implanted false memories and beliefs. They then came together and attached themselves to the bodies of humans. Many walk the earth to this day. Scientologists believe that the purpose of their spiritual practices is to clear the body of the Thetans and free themselves from the harmful influences of these ancient events. Why hasn't the story of Xenu been more popularized? Well, as with many other concepts of the Church, a lot of their beliefs are kept secret from the public, and often from followers too. In this case, the story of Xenu is detailed in Scientology's advanced level materials, particularly in OT3, which is only revealed to members who have reached a certain level within the Church. The truth behind crop circles. A lot of alien phenomena has been challenged, with scientists and researchers being able to propose any and every alternate theory to the existence of extraterrestrial life forms. However, one concept that's yet to be plausibly explained by science and supports the existence of otherworldly beings more than anything is the existence of crop circles. Rather, where do they come from? Also known as corn circles or crop formations, these are patterns created in fields by flattening cereal crops. Crop circles first came into focus in the 1980s, after a series of formations were seen from helicopters flying over the United Kingdom. Yes, a handful of these formations were hoaxes, but not all of them. Some paranormal advocates think that crop circles are caused by ball lightning, and that the patterns are so complex that they have to be controlled by some entity. Some proposed entities are Gaia asking to stop global warming and human pollution, God, supernatural beings, the collective minds of humanity through a proposed quantum field, and extraterrestrial beings. Elon Musk claims he's an alien. He's the richest man on the face of the earth. He's had multiple successful companies, most of his wealth grew seemingly overnight, and now he's on a mission to inhabit Mars. Could Elon Musk be an alien? Interestingly enough, this concept has been brought forward several times, and at least twice by Musk himself. In 2024, Musk joined the Viva Tech event in Paris via video conference. During a segment called Everything You Always Wanting to Know About Elon Musk But Were Afraid to Ask, the host asked the billionaire if he was an alien. Elon replied, yes. Many would argue that the comment was made lightheartedly, but in 2019, on an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Musk seemed a little too serious about it. The host stated that he'd been thinking about Musk's achievements and missions, including the SpaceX space mission, and came to the conclusion that Musk wasn't human. To this, Elon stated that it was true. If not the fact that he wasn't human, he knew that he wasn't entirely like a normal human being. According to Musk, he was sure of the fact that he had some sort of genetic mutation that made him different. The Vatican Apostolic Archive contains alien manuscripts. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, better known as the Vatican Secret Archive, is a collection of books, scrolls, and manuscripts that go back several centuries. It's believed by many as the world's oldest library with information on everything, including life as we know it. However, despite its potential to change the way we see ourselves and the world around us, the Vatican has kept the archive out of bounds for everyone, except a select few members of the congregation. Journalists have been allowed to visit the archive, but they've been forbidden from taking pictures and are always part of guided tours, with some parts of the hidden library being out of bounds at all times. Many theories have come up on the secrets that the Vatican holds. Some believe that it contains manuscripts between humans and gods, while others believe that the Vatican is hiding the world's best-kept secret, the existence of aliens. According to these theories, alien life forms would make contact with high priests, as they have to this day. These meetings would be recorded and submitted into the archive. Some skeptics have gone as far as suggesting that the Vatican would take inspiration from these extraterrestrials and implement their processes in the communion and how they interact with people of faith. A lot of crazy theories, but ones that will only ever go away once the Vatican Secret Archive opens its doors fully. Are animals secretly aliens? For a long time, proponents of panspermia ventured into the cold north, looking for extremophile microbes to support their theory. They believed that alien life forms would exist in their preserved state only in extreme conditions. However, recent theories suggest that it might not be the case. In fact, the biggest living proof of panspermia has been right in front of us this whole time: octopi. The idea that the octopus might be of extraterrestrial origin has intrigued both scientists and the public. The unique biology of the octopus, with its complex nervous system, advanced problem-solving abilities, and highly adaptive behavior, has led some researchers to speculate that it might not have evolved solely through earthbound processes. A 2018 paper published in the journal Progress in Biophysics and Molecular Biology, authored by 33 researchers, proposed that the sea creature's genetic diversity and sudden evolutionary appearance in the Cambrian period could be explained by panspermia. The researchers claimed that octopus eggs arrived on Earth through ice comets. This idea isn't as controversial as you'd think. In fact, it's based on the fact that an octopus has the ability to edit its genetic makeup, a unique quality not shared with any other Earth life form. With features like camera-like eyes, camouflage capabilities, and complex nervous systems, the octopi's abilities are too extraordinary to be explained by normal evolutionary patterns. They concluded that these traits had been inherited from extraterrestrial sources and transported to Earth through interstellar objects, otherwise known as panspermia. Do you think humans made contact with aliens long before they ever realized it? Do aliens live among us?